Hi, how are you? Okay, so a few things. I made a list of what to talk about in this favorites video because I feel like I'm a bit out of touch because I haven't made a video in like a month. A lot of things happened this past month. I got an apartment at the end of last year in Long Beach. So I'm gonna be moving to Long Beach to live and keeping this place in LA, as you can see, as an office. So this past weekend I had a yard sale. I actually got this from Madeline because she was there, and I have this jacket, but it's just a little bit bigger. And Madeline had this exact same jacket, same label and everything. And then I tried it on and it actually fits better, so then we swapped. Yeah, the yard sale was amazing. I planned it in like a couple days. It took like a couple hours of planning, really, and then I just cleared out my apartment, and then people came over and sold things. I invited all my friends because my stuff alone wasn't enough to make a yard sale, so yeah, all my friends came over and everyone sold things. I had two DJs. It was such an amazing event. If you guys came out, then thank you so much for the support. If I didn't say hi to you, I'm so sorry. It's just that there's so many people here. I wasn't sure who was here for which person. There were so many people selling, so I wasn't sure who was here to support who, you know? But yeah, it was an insane event and I really want to do it again. 2018, I want to do some new things and make some new improvements on my life because I'm going to be 30 this year, so I signed up for a ceramics class, which I've always wanted to do. Yeah, I think 2018 is a year of like self-love and self-improvement for me. Yeah, so on that note, for the past like 3 years since I've lived in LA, there's so many options around here that I just eat out a lot, and I mean, I love cooking, but I just hardly ever cook at home. I start cooking more and making more cooking videos, so I am going to try to do a monthly favorites video at the end of every month and feature a favorite dish. So I know that some of you are already familiar with HelloFresh, but this is my favorite meal of the previous month, and I actually cooked it twice because the first time was so amazing, and then I had some of the ingredients left behind, so I ended up going out and buying more ingredients and then making it myself because it's super easy. The reason why I like this so much is because prep was only 20 minutes. The meals are supposed to be made for 2 people, right? But I live alone, so I always just cook for myself. Sometimes I'll invite my friends over, but oftentimes people are just busy. So they actually keep really well for leftovers, and one meal, which is meant for 2 people, I actually am able to split it up into 3 or 4 dishes. So this is my favorite meal for the past month. It's the Gorgeous Greens Faro Bowl. It was so easy to make, so delicious, took no time at all really, and yeah, I made it twice because it was so freaking delicious. Oh, and if I like a meal, then I'll save these cards and kind of always remember the recipe too. The reason why I like these meals is because I'm not really adventurous when it comes to cooking, so I end up eating the same meals almost every day. I like that HelloFresh will introduce ingredients I don't normally cook with, like oddly enough, I never cook with walnuts. I never add walnuts into anything. And of the box that I received this past week, I really liked that meal in particular because it just felt very nourishing. So if you're interested in trying out HelloFresh, I have a code for $30 off your first week of deliveries when you subscribe. The code is Christine30. I'll have a link in the description box down below as well. I just realized this isn't mine. This is my apartment, but this is from the yard sale. So this is county or counter space. They were here for their yard sales, so these are all the pillows, and they just kind of left their stuff here for a couple days. So actually a lot of the people who were selling left their stuff here, so people are going to be in and out for the next few days. Anyway, every month, at the end of every month, I want to do a giveaway as well. So this month, I received this box from Urban Outfitters, or Urban Outfitters Beauty. There's just like a bunch of stuff in here, as you can see. I'll go through them actually. There's Moon Dusk, this stuff right here, Milk Makeup, this is a charcoal cleanser, just a bunch of stuff. Oh, Red Earth, R&Co. So I'll have a list of everything in the description box down below. Yeah, just a bunch of things from Urban Outfitters Beauty. But the thing is, I already have most of these things, so I figured that you guys can go ahead and use it. So yeah, go on my Instagram, find this photo right here, and leave one comment with one favorite emoji. Just once, okay? Don't cheat, because I know the last time I did this, someone posted like 50 times. Just leave your favorite emoji once. If you do multiple, I'm gonna automatically disqualify you, I'm sorry. So if you wanna enter, go ahead and do that and I will send it out to you. I guess we'll close this giveaway in like 3 days. I know that last year I started off every month with things that you can consume that is free 99, you know, or free dollars. And I normally start with a YouTube, but this month I haven't been watching any YouTube at all really, so I don't have a favorite YouTube, I'm sorry. For music, I want to talk to you guys about something that really changed my life over the past like decade or so. When I first met Nick, he gave me this compilation called Dusty Fingers, and it looks like this. And it's just a compilation of like breakbeats, jazz. It's like a compilation of like really obscure music, like things that you can't find on Spotify for the most part. I tried to play it in my car when he gave me the CD compilation, but it wouldn't play because it was like too big or something like that. So then I put it on my computer and it's just like an insane amount of music. There's like actually 16 or 17 of these that you can collect. But the CD that he gave me had all of them. I know that someone made a playlist and it's floating around there somewhere, but it's just a few songs. So if you can get a hold of the box set or maybe even the written PDF of like all the songs and just do your own research, that would be great. But there's just really cool break beats, really cool jazz, obscure organ solos and stuff. I remember hearing it for the first time and it just really changed my life. And I wish so badly that I can hear it again for the first time, but every once in a while I'll go back in and listen to it again. And this past month I felt really uninspired and I really wanted to listen to music or new music. And what I do is whenever I go to a record store, there's always really weird genres they'll list down. Like I'll go through and there's like something like krautrock, you know, or like genres that I never even heard of, like prog is one of them, library funk is one of them. I always write it down on my phone, and then when I go home, I do a lot of research. I'm kind of like a nerd, you know? Yeah, so I put up a list on my Instagram stories, and so many of you guys gave me such good recommendations, and a lot of you guys got so obscure that I couldn't even find it. Thank you so much for everyone who's been sharing music with me this past month. I really hope that you guys find music from Dusty Fingers. I'll put a link to a playlist down below, but you kind of have to go back in and like really do your research on all the songs because so many of these things I feel like most of these things aren't on the playlists. Besides that, if you like that, then look up Blue Note because there's some really good stuff as well. If you really like jazz, that's where it's at. An Instagram favorite, I gotta say Joe Perry. So I've been really interested in shooting film lately and I started following this guy named Joe Perry on Instagram and he's got such an amazing eye. I really love how he takes portraits of people because when I think of portraits, whenever I take portraits of people, I kind of like, you know, have them frame up and like really kind of look at the camera and kind of make it very LinkedIn kind of, you know? And it's really hard to explain, but he does it in a way where it feels like the person that he's taking a portrait of knows that he's there. So it's not like a candid party shot. It's not a candid photo by any means. It's shot with such a mood that it just feels very natural to me. So I really like that and I really look up to that because I don't know if I could ever make anyone feel that comfortable in front of a camera that it looks, although it's not candid, it looks, I guess, in between candid. I don't really know how to explain this, but I'm really hoping that the photos that I'm showing you on Instagram will kind of speak more clearly. He also does like some deadpan shots too that are amazing as well. I've been listening to a lot more podcasts lately and I've been having a really hard time sleeping, and I don't know if you can see, but I have all these like acupuncture points on my ear right now because my friend actually put these in for me because she said that I have a great amount of fear. She said fear, not anxiety. So maybe that's part of it, but I've been waking up in the middle of the night every night and also just having a really hard time falling asleep. Every night before I go to bed, I just break out in hives, like all over my neck and everything. But as soon as she put this on, those went away, which is kind of funny. But when it comes to sleep, I've been having a hard time falling asleep. And Ian told me about this podcast that he was listening to one day when he was having a hard time falling asleep, and it's called Sleep With Me. And it's just a guy who, like, I wouldn't say that he has a monotone voice. He kind of has like a stuttery, and he talks about like nothing too. He just kind of talks in circles, and I thought that I would be kind of frustrated by it, but I actually put on a podcast and it was only 12 minutes. And I remember looking at it and just being like, this is only 12 minutes and I've been in bed for 2-3 hours trying to fall asleep. So there's just no way that this is gonna work, you know? And then he started talking and he was just like thanking people who were supporting the station or whatever. And then I passed out and then I woke up at around 8 in the morning, which meant I kind of overslept a little bit. I don't have an alarm because I just freelance, so I don't really have to be up at a certain time really, but that was amazing. I slept through the entire night. I slept so deep as well, very well rested. So if you're having trouble sleeping, check out Sleep With Me, the podcast. For a show, I started watching this show when I was in Hawaii last week with my cousin Amy. We started watching this show called Samurai Gourmet. I think there's only like 12 episodes or something like that, but we plowed through it on vacation, you know? It was amazing. And it's about this Japanese man who is, I think, 60. He's retired. He used to be a corporate man. He's trying to like, you know, find purpose in his life, like trying to figure it out, trying to figure out his hobbies and stuff. And he has a deep passion for food. So he kind of goes around and has like flashbacks of his childhood or like flashbacks of like his college years and stuff. and rediscovers his love for food and just eats the most amazing meals. Whenever something goes wrong, or whenever he sees someone being rude to another person, a samurai will appear, and that's all in his head. So it's like his alter ego. He's kind of like a badass who's just like, you know, kind of intimidate people. But he always makes the right decision, so he kind of helps our protagonist build up the courage to do the right thing. I just love his facial expressions, because I wish I had that passion in food, you know? I think I can eventually build it. Last thing I want to talk about is a favorite film. I haven't had this passion for film in so freaking long. So I just watched Call Me By Your Name twice. I actually talked to Maddie about it because she recommended me Lady Bird. Actually, a lot of people recommended Lady Bird because I liked Frances Ha so much. Actually, my cousin even recommended me Lady Bird. A lot of people recommended it because they're like, oh yeah, you were raised Catholic, your name is Christine, you know, you guys have things in common. But I watched it and I thought it was good, but it's not something that I would watch again, unfortunately. So if you really liked it, that's awesome. But for some reason, it didn't quite get me. Call Me By Your Name though, I watched it and I was fucking bawling. It is so good. It doesn't matter who you are, what your preference is. It just captured falling in love so perfectly. I cried like a baby, like multiple times in the film. Just talking about it, I really want to watch it again. I think the reason why I liked it so much is because it reminded me of being in school. Like when I was in film school, I watched this film called Persona by Ingmar Bergman, I think. It's about two women, or actually, I think it's actually about one woman with two different personalities, kind of like Fight Club. I remember watching it for the first time and just falling in love with the film because it's so beautiful. And there are some shots in Call Me By Your Name that reminds me of Persona. I don't remember much about Persona because I haven't watched it since college, and the reason why is because I had to watch it frame by frame for like 3 months. I should really try to watch it again because I can't really make this reference, right? But there are certain frames that really did remind me of Persona, or what I could remember from Persona. And also in the last scene, Elio did this thing where he broke the fourth wall, which is like a rule in film that you don't do. But it reminded me of 400 Blows where he broke the fourth wall. It was done in such an emotional way that it kind of triggered that memory for me. Just watch it at least once. I know it can be a little bit slow for some people, but I'm kind of a slow human being, so I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I enjoyed it twice. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions about anything, please leave a comment down below, and I'll try to link everything in the description box down below as well. And also, while you're still here, I have these stools that have like round tops. Should I get the round pillows or the squarish pillows, and which color should I get if I have like a wood stool? Just try and picture it. What do you think? All right, bye.